Hi everyone, Susie here, and it's the middle of February, and in this video I'm going to show you how to create a hanging basket with Tradescantia cuttings. And I did this last year and it worked out amazing, and my aunt absolutely loved it, so I'm going to do it again for her this year. So I'm going to bring you closer and show you the steps. Okay, so these are all Tradescantia cuttings I took last year at the end of the growing season. There's 15 little containers in here, and basically I'm just treating these like the mother plants. I could put this into the hanging basket, but I like to cram it full of cuttings. So basically when I take a cutting, you don't need a lot, but if you can see, there's like a little note here with a leaf cut. I like to just cut just a little below that. Then I'll clip that one off, and then the next leaf up above. All right, so that is one cutting here. Not sure if I was in view. I was kind of looking at what I was doing. So here's another one. There. All right, so I'm gonna keep doing that till I have between 20 and 30 cuttings, and then I will go on to the next step with you. Okay, so I have my tray, or my little box of cuttings here. So now what I wanna do is go ahead, I have this hanging basket. The greenhouse that I go to always has like a little shed with items that you can bring back, plastic especially. So I just kind of go through there and see what I can find. So I just get these, there's no cost to it. So I like to reuse when I can. I just clean it up. And the other thing is there's a pretty big drainage hole at the bottom here. So I just went ahead, kind of doubled up a paper towel and put it in the bottom. I usually use a coffee filter, but I don't have it on hand. So I just went with a paper towel. So in this bucket here, I just have some pre-moistened potting mix. So I'm just gonna go ahead and fill this up. Hope I have enough. I might have to make another little batch here. So about at this point, what I like to do, oh, that worked out really good, is I'm just gonna kind of press it down a little bit, but I like to mix just a little bit of slow release fertilizer in here. And I would say it's still about 4 inches from the top, because cuttings don't need any nutrition at the start. So I figure by the time they start growing really well and the roots start going down, they're gonna hit that slow release fertilizer, and then that's when they're gonna need it. So I'm thinking in about a month's time. And honestly, I'm just gonna put just a little bit of a handful in. Again, it's Tradescantia. I just find they don't need a lot of nutrition. All right, so then I'm just gonna continue filling it up. If you see that lip here, that's where I'm gonna fill it to. Oops, right here. So I'm gonna finish with this and go into the next step. Okay, I didn't know if I showed you, but I use Osmocote for the solar release fertilizer. That's just what my big box stores carry, and I really like it. It helps a lot. So I got this filled up, the pre-moistened potting mix. And now I'm just gonna take the cuttings. I've already trimmed them up. If I think I need to trim up more, I will, but I think that's good. I'm just gonna start sticking them in. And there is no rhyme or reason to this. These are so simple. I just try and make sure that the leaves are not touching, but again, last year I didn't think too hard on this either, and I just placed. Like I said, the more you can put in, the better, because whenever you do take cuttings, you always kind of hope that half work. I'm gonna trim this one down a little bit. It's a little long. there. So I got a little bored last year, so I thought I'm going to try this because at my garden center, they're always selling these, and I think it's about $40 for a container. And I thought, I'll try it. Just, like I said, Tradescantia cuttings are so easy. And it worked out. My aunt was really happy because I didn't know that this was something that she wanted, and then when she went looking for one, they didn't have one at the greenhouse she goes to, so I'm like, oh, I just did one for the fun of it. She was super excited, and I will put a picture too as to what it looked like at the end of the season. Just tearing off a leaf here. I'm just wondering if I should do one for myself. I have a lot of shade, but I don't know. I use a lot of the Tradescantia in my hanging baskets and my containers as is, so I don't know if I want to have that much more. All right, so I'm gonna finish filling this up, and I'll see if I need to place any more, and then I'll show you what I do next. Okay, so this is what it looks like after I finished placing all of my cuttings, and I've just gone ahead and watered it in a little bit. I did start with a pre-moistened potting mix, but this just kind of helps settle the potting mix around the cuttings. That way there's no air pockets. I'm just kind of looking. There's a lot in here. I am hoping half of these work. If I start seeing some that rot, I'll go in and just pull them out. This will take over, so I'm not overly concerned that way. The other thing is what I'll do is I'm always coming out into my plant room and checking on my other plants. So what I'll do is I'll just come by and just kind of give it just a little spray, so that's pretty much it, and just once a day. And what I like to do too is I'm not going to place this directly under grow lights right now. My plant room is well lit, so I'm just gonna, probably not on the ground because the ground is cold. So I'll just put it up on something. It's about 65 degrees in here, so until I can start seeing that they're taking root, or what I like to do is I just kind of pull on the plants gently, and if they don't give, then I know they've rooted in. And this will be an amazing container at the end of the season. Yes, it's a plastic container, but believe me, you're not even going to see any part of this by the time they start growing, and it doesn't take long for them to fill in. And this just is a quick and easy way, and also cheap, to have a beautiful shade-loving hanging basket. And then what I'll do is I'll quick show you where I will put it once they do take root. Okay, so this is where I will put my hanging Tradescantia basket once the cuttings take root, and it'll take a little bit, I would say between 1 and 2 weeks, and then once they do, they're going to go under these grow lights for about 14 hours to 16 hours along with the other plants here. I've had really good luck. The foliage does not burn, and it just makes a beautiful hanging basket. And at some point, once the foliage starts to trail down a little bit more, I'll just go ahead and prop something underneath this container to bump it up. I will be putting one of these trays underneath it just to catch the water when I do water. And on that note, I won't be fertilizing this at all. It has a slow release fertilizer about at the halfway point. That should be good enough for this. And then by the time I give this to my aunt about mid-May, then she can see to its care. So hopefully you enjoyed this video, and this has inspired you to create a beautiful Tradescantia hanging basket, and bye for now.